I know this title is already trademarked by Nickelodeon, but the title Hoppers makes me think it's either a Bug's Life spinoff or a movie about rabbits or kangaroos. They really should have called this movie Angry Beavers. Okay, so for a kids movie, this is pretty solid. For a Pixar movie, it's below their usual level of quality. And considering this is from the same writer as We Bear Bears, which is a very sharp, witty series, there's not a lot of jokes or anything that's particularly outside the box. It also doesn't help that the animation of the humans is horrendous. I'm not a fan of that bean mouth style that, for some reason, is still popular. It looks very unnerving, and when you compare human designs and animation to some of Pixar's other films, like The Incredibles or Inside Out, it looks so out of place. And given the out there story premise of putting a human brain into a robot beaver, this feels like this should be stronger. Pixar has done weirder stuff. A movie about a man who wants to be a chef, a movie about a guy who ties balloons to his house. There's a reason these movies are memorable. This doesn't have anything particularly memorable that makes it stand out from the more forgettable Pixar entries like The Good Dinosaur or Brave. The film's soundtrack consists of generic pop songs, which feels very out of place for a Pixar film. The message isn't done in a way that's particularly innovative. It's already been seen in Avatar, which the film even name drops. Wild Thornberrys, the Lorax, the Ant Bully, it just falls into that run-of-the-mill category and gets mixed in with those because they're all essentially saying the same thing. The movie is more of a 100-minute long PSA that you'd see during a Saturday morning cartoon commercial break, and it feels like the movie was made not out of passion like the best of Pixar's films, but merely so Disney could add it to the Animal Kingdom section of Disney World in Florida, since that park is their least popular and is essentially an overpriced zoo. The film's heavy-handed message of big business is bad and businesses and politicians need to be more ethical comes across as so insincere and hypocritical, considering that this is a movie from Disney, one of the most unethical companies in the world. Its execution comes across as very finger-wagging and rules for me, but not for me. Also, the third act of this movie is surprisingly dark for a kids' film, and it's probably some of the darkest direction that Pixar has ever taken a film. The animals band together to plot to kill the humans for destroying nature, and the third act becomes very reminiscent of films like The Birds, Jaws, Anaconda, a lot of those animal-centered horror films, and there's actually some pretty nightmarish imagery. So if you have sensitive kids, I'd say wait to stream it, so you can fast forward past anything that's too intense. It's not as cutesy as the trailers make it seem. There is a small bit of charm to this movie, but overall, the movie just comes across like a product rather than passion, and an execution of the message seems hypocritical. For me, it's a B minus, 7.5 out of 10, and a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a movie you can wait to stream.